Hey guys, I just completed my road trip over the weekend, and I decided what I wanted to do was give you guys a summary, um, because I have a lot of video that I won't have a chance to upload right away. So rather than that, I figured I would just give you kind of an overview of how the road trip went, how capable the Bolt EV was, so on and so forth. Um, the weather was clear but cold, so take that as it is. These numbers are probably representative of that sort of cold weather driving. Um, so I have a lot of experience driving this route with the Volt. And so this total number in the Volt would have been two full electrical charges and at least about 25 gallons of gasoline. The numbers I think I have from EVgo or this entire trip, both directions, cost me about $40 of electricity. So 25 gallons plus 20 kilowatt hours versus $40 for um, this electricity. Uh, and I can say that in my experience, the Bolt EV is actually very close in highway mileage and highway efficiency to the first generation Volt. I don't know what speeds you'd need to be going in order for the Volt to actually start to see an advantage from its aerodynamics. So it might be 75 miles an hour, it might be 80 miles an hour before you actually start to see an advantage based on aerodynamics. So the Bolt EV itself is actually fairly efficient on the freeway. So that's good to know. And then the other thing is I have to say I feel like the Bolt EV might at this point in time might be a little bit like the first year or so of ownership of the Tesla Model S. And the reason I say that is I think this car is at least 2 years to 3 years ahead of the infrastructure. Um, it like if you had purchased a Model S when it first came out, the supercharger network was non almost non-existent for most of the country. It's was just starting to be built out, and I feel the same way right now. I feel that the fast charging network that's available is designed primarily for small batteried electric vehicles. I think the Bolt EV at this point surpasses what that network is currently capable of. I ran into a number of issues with the chargers that were available. Charging rates were inconsistent, and none of them, from what I think or from what I see, could max out what the Bolt EV is capable of charging at. So that's something to consider. Essentially, from 0% state of charge to about 65% state of charge, the Bolt EV will charge at 45 kilowatts, which is about the maximum that the EVgo chargers are capable of putting out. And from 65 to 75% state of charge, it throttles down to about 35 kilowatts. And from 75 to about 85 percent state of charge, it throttles down to about 25 kilowatt, or sorry, yeah, to about 25 kilowatts. And then from 85, it throttles down to about 15 kilowatts. So that huge flat spot at the beginning of the charge curve indicates to me that the Bolt could accept a lot more power earlier on in the charge cycle, and the current chargers just aren't capable of outputting it. Something else interesting that the Bolt will do is, say you're from that 65 to 75% state of charge where the the charging tower can put out 45 kilowatts, but the battery for the Bolt is only accepting 35. If you turn on your climate control, the Bolt will redirect that power rather than sending it to the battery, right? It'll send it directly to the climate control. So the battery will still be receiving 35 kilowatts of power, and that other 6 kilowatts or so running the climate control will just get fed directly from the tower. So that's kind of a cool little trick that can happen. But otherwise, yeah, I have a lot of criticisms about our current infrastructure, what's going on with it, the placement of chargers, the number of chargers, the speed of chargers, those sorts of things. But otherwise, the Bolt EV right now is perfectly capable of making 400 to 500 mile journeys. And mind you, a lot of this driving, the efficiency probably looks pretty low right now, but a lot of this driving was at around 70 miles an hour and between 35 and 45-degree temperatures. So, not exactly a balmy, drive. So, otherwise, that's about it as far as just a summary. And I'll just post this up, and then, like I said, more videos about particulars to come. But yeah, I think even right now, yeah, 500-mile trips in this are perfectly feasible, even in a reasonable amount of time. And just note, I am going to 1986, a good year. I am actually going to drive to work without plugging in or charging, so I feel like I should have enough to get there. If I don't, well, you know what happened. But yeah, so that's pretty much the sum of it. Um, all right, guys.